What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Lad. Today we have got a stacked lineup of news to break down. Now let's get started. Alex Pereira not happy with Sean Strickland's performance. This past weekend Sean Strickland took on Dricus Du Plessis in a highly anticipated middleweight showdown. But while the fight itself delivered some action, Strickland's performance left many disappointed, including Alex Pereira. Pereira flew all the way to Australia to corner Strickland, expecting to see his former rival put on a show. Instead, Strickland looked flat, hesitant, and ultimately lost a close decision. During an interview on the MMA Hour, Strickland's coach, Eric Nixick, revealed that Pereira was baffled by what he was watching. He leaned over a few times and he's looking at me like, "What the hell's going on with Sean?" And I'm looking at him like, "Man, we need to get this out of him." Even Nixick admitted that Strickland fought uninspired, saying, "It was just uninspired fighting to me. It just seemed like Sean Strickland was sleepwalking. It was tough, man. To travel all the way to Australia. And let's not forget, this was a title fight. I take these title fights very seriously. I was just disappointed, man." And Luke Rockhold? He had no sympathy for Strickland. The former champ, fresh off a BKFC loss to Mike Perry, absolutely ripped Strickland apart, calling him out for quitting after breaking his nose. We all watched the fight. We all heard this guy talk the biggest game. And then he goes out and basically quits in the fight after he breaks his nose? What are you worried about? The world title's on the line, that's all you've dreamed of. And you're more worried about fixing your nose than winning? Strickland's team later confirmed that he had been dealing with a staph infection before the fight. But even his own coach isn't using that as an excuse. So, after this lackluster performance, where does Strickland go from here? A rematch with Du Plessis? A fight against Khamzat Chimaev? One thing's for sure, he'll need to come back with a vengeance. And before we continue, be sure to leave a like on this video. Thanks in advance. Paddy Pimblett doesn't believe Topuria versus Makhachev will happen. 4 months, the MMA community has been buzzing about a possible Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev fight. Fans have been dreaming of a champ-champ showdown, especially after Topuria's dominant win over Alexander Volkanovski. But is this fight actually happening? According to Paddy Pimblett, the answer is a hard no. During an interview on the Blood Red Liverpool FC podcast, Paddy the Batty weighed in on the possibility of Topuria jumping straight into a lightweight title shot. And let's just say, he's not convinced.
I can't see Ilia fighting Islam. You know what I mean? He's only defended the belt once. Normally he needs to defend the belt like 3 times, and he's not that big of a star to just jump. He's not McGregor. You know what I mean? To just jump right up and fight for the other belt. So I can't personally see that happening, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I heard Ilia's headline in the 314 event against Volk, but you don't know till nothing's finalised with the UFC. I have been told this and that in the last few weeks, last few months, and we'll just see what happens.
Pimblett raises an interesting point. Unlike Conor McGregor, who was given an immediate lightweight title shot after winning the featherweight belt, Topuria doesn't have that same global superstardom. Right now, Makhachev's next fight is still up in the air. The UFC hasn't locked in a date for Makhachev versus anyone, and with no clear timeline for a Volkanovski rematch, the lightweight division is in a weird place. So, if Topuria isn't next for Makhachev, who is? Justin Gaethje? Charles Oliveira? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Micheal Chandler responds to a potential Paddy Pimblett fight. After Micheal Chandler's loss to Charles Oliveira, fans have been speculating about his next move. One name that keeps getting thrown around? Paddy the Batting Pimblett. Chandler finally responded to the buzz, taking to social media with a sarcastic response. "Y'all are funny. Fighting Paddy Pimblett is a scary fight. Just joking. Can you imagine?" The message is clear. Chandler doesn't take the idea of fighting Pimblett seriously. But Nate Diaz does. Diaz took to Instagram urging Dustin Poirier to fight Pimblett instead, calling it the perfect retirement fight. Paddy, of course, wasted no time firing back at Diaz, saying, "Nate Diaz knows his he's a real G. Dustin Poirier fights Dan Hooker when he's ranked 12, but not me? You know what would happen." Pimblett says his return fight is almost finalized, but who will he face? Chandler? Poirier? Let us know your predictions. What do you think? Should Ilia Topuria fight Islam Makhachev next? Will Sean Strickland bounce back after his disappointing performance? Does Paddy Pimblett deserve a fight against Micheal Chandler? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a fight update. See you in the next video.